Not so long ago, real-time collaboration between large numbers of people was difficult if you weren't physically gathered in the same space. New technologies have changed this. We are now seeing innovative examples, such as what is sometimes called swarming. Swarming is what happens when people's experiences and knowledge are pooled together to create a combined effect far greater than their individual acts. As the 2008 Mumbai attacks unfolded, a swarm was created using Twitter, a microblogging service that allows people to send and read each other's personal updates via the internet and mobile phones.
When the Mumbai terror attacks were happening, there were a lot of us within the vicinity, and we started just, pouring sort of out our emotions and talking about what was going on and what we were seeing on television into Twitter. We were feeling like, what do we do? And we were feeling alone in our homes because we weren't allowed to get out. And it allowed us to actually feel less alone, less angry as a group. And we were able to actually network with people on the ground to bring out information that was required. For instance, we had people going to hospitals and collecting lists of injured and dead, which wasn't published anywhere on the web. And they were faxed to us, and then we quickly put them up as links on Twitter to a blog that was supporting this. In other cases, it was about getting the right kind of blood to the hospital that required that kind of blood. So it's about spontaneous mobilization of a community that already exists through the multiple nodes and hubs that you have as you work, leave your sort of footprints on the web. The other thing that is really sort of almost magic about microblogging is the aggregation of these things and the amplification of these things, because it is a broadcast mechanism. So that served in getting a lot of interest from mainstream media, and which fed back into how effective the mobilization could be around awareness on what was going on.
As the Mumbai terror attacks showed, mobile phones have become vital tools during crises. In Madagascar, mobiles were used with computer software to enable citizens to report what was happening when anti-government protests turned violent. One software program, Frontline SMS, allowed text messages to be sent and received by large numbers of subscribers in Madagascar, while Ushahidi allowed subscribers' messages to show on a map.
In 2009, during the troubles in Madagascar, where some demonstrators were shot by, I believe, the army, there was clearly an opportunity there to collect information and news and the voices of people on the ground who were experiencing the troubles, who were involved in the demonstrations and who were impacted by what was going on. Using technologies, you can combine the collective voice of people, so people can SMS in information, they could send in emails, they could complete online forms. You can then aggregate that information with the news coming in from the mainstream, and then bringing all that together, you get a much better picture of what's happening on the ground. And Ushahidi, the crowdsourcing platform, which used Frontline SMS to allow people to text a number and then contribute to the news through their mobile phones. So people could go to the internet and send emails, or they could go onto a website and complete a form. But people generally prefer, through convenience and speed, to send in an SMS, and Frontline SMS was used to collect those messages, which were then posted to the Ushahidi site, and from that point they were aggregated with the other reports coming in, including information from the mainstream media, and then placed on a map, and it gave a very good idea of where the hotspots of the trouble were, and it gave a much broader view of what was happening in the country than otherwise would have been given.
As these examples illustrate, mobile phones, when connected with online platforms, can be a powerful way to combine experiences and knowledge to report events comprehensively as they unfold.